This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
I'm Indy.
The return of IndieTimmie. Woo!
Yep.
Why don't you tell everybody about your channel?
I am a Let's Player on YouTube, but right now I'm kind of changing up my style a little bit to be more like someone we're going to be talking about later.
And just for the record, if you guys are looking for the best, like kind of medieval narrative voice for bug fables, Indy has got it going on. It was really great narration.
Thank you. I need to go back to that game. A lot of stuff has come up.
That was a fun narration. I was really enjoying that one a lot. When I had time to tune into it, I was really enjoying it.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad. I suck at voice acting, but people say I'm decent at things. So
for like a medieval narrative voice, that was perfect.
Well, thank you.
So, all right. What is our, and by the way, guys, youtube.com/IndieTimmie, IndieTimmie, go subscribe. Worth your time. Mm-hmm. All right. So,
yeah, Timmy spelt like I was drunk.
So today we're going to get into delays in video games in 2020. But before we get into that, we're going to do our two quick topics. Well-known author, I guess, John Boyne accidentally included Zelda video game monsters in his novel, A Traveler at the Gates of Wisdom, which opens in AD 1 and ends 2,000 years later. And it's not meant to have any fictional items in it at all. It's meant to be like a historical fiction. And somehow in the book, he has an Octorok eyeball.
I don't understand how he accidentally did this.
I don't either. Like, how do you mess that up?
That's strange.
Like, he said,
I
accidentally Googled
it. Maybe he just had Zelda on the mind.
Mm-hmm.
No,
or he was
doesn't
just copying
play
and pasting stuff into his book and went to the wrong Wikipedia.
That's basically what I think happened. Traveler at the Gates of Wisdom, Zelda.
Plot twist, he is secretly the biggest Zelda fan ever.
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild guide. It was a guide from Breath of the Wild. That's what it was. Because he was looking up like poison or something to put into like one part of the narrative. And somehow the Zelda Breath of the Wild guide on poisons wound up in his literature to put in the book. And bam, wow. Octorok eyeball and the tail of a red Lizalfos and 4 Hylian shrooms somehow wind up being in his book.
I wonder if Nintendo's going to sue him.
They should. I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's so stupid, right? Like, can you imagine reading this like a historical fiction? It's like you're reading this very detailed, very well-researched book, and all of a sudden...
that really happened.
Octorok eyeball, a tail of a red Lizalfos, and 4 Hylian shrooms. Like, are you on shrooms?
Someone from the future just like, I don't recall these animals.
Like, so the year is 2050 and a child is reading this historical fiction. Hey mom, what's a Hylian shroom? a tail of a red Lizalfos and an Octorok eyeball. Can I find these things?
I wish.
No, son. They went extinct after
over the castle once again.
They went extinct after the time of the Switch. The Great Switch.
My God.
Another quick topic. Netflix is apparently going to be attempting to adapt the game series Splinter Cell into a long-running Netflix series, I guess.
This is a perfect game for this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I know a lot of people weren't happy hearing about it.
Well, just because they don't think Netflix does a good job with the adaptations, or...
Yeah, and they feel like Splinter Cell is better as just a gaming media and not something you watch.
I mean, but it's from books, like Tom Clancy,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wrote a ton of good books.
Well, which probably means they're not going to adapt the games. They're going to adapt the books again.
But to be fair, how many games actually adapt well to a TV series on their own without referencing the books? Like, can you imagine if they just said, all right, here's your material to work with, and handed you a copy of Halo 3?
Yeah, apparently The Witcher's doing good, so...
Yep. It's much closer to the books. I still have some problems with it, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, so I enjoyed it.
I have yet to watch it, and I need to...
There are so many boobs in it, though. Oh, my God.
That
is my biggest problem with that show. Is like, Yennefer, that's the only reason why they hired the actress, was like, will you do the entire show naked? Okay, good.
That's why I couldn't watch Game of Thrones. Too much sex and incest.
You know,
I thought Game of Thrones was
is
worse.
bad, but
No, it's way worse. Game of Thrones is way
Witcher is
worse.
No, it's not. The Witcher is like the whole time she's
All right,
like.
I'm gonna have to rewatch
naked.
both and then tell you what I think because I don't remember The Witcher being that bad, and neither does Madeline. So,
Because you're like, oh, this is nice.
but I think my wife would have remembered this.
I don't know, man. Like
That's-
Claire and I
maybe
didn't
that-
even finish it because we didn't watch the last episode because it's like I don't want to see her boobs anymore.
I don't think there were any in the last
your
episode.
your wife just sucked out all the memories of the naked woman out of you. So you don't remember it.
Hey, just for the record here, I wanted to give a little shout out to Doodlebug for the art over here on the side. She drew a persona for me, so that's awesome.
I want to make another shout out. You notice how other side, right there. I don't have a picture drawn by Doodlebug.
But you do have a unicorn horn on your head.
I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Willicorn.
The Willicorn.
The Willicorn. So the main topic today is a discussion on video games getting delayed, which has been a prominent pattern in 2020 and even 2019, 2018. You know, just in the last
Forever.
5 years. And with Cyberpunk 2077 getting delayed now, 3 times? And other various games getting continuously delayed, like, can you say Marvel Avengers? And Final Fantasy VII got
Or
delayed before it got
Biomutant.
released.
I have been looking forward for that game for like 5 years now.
Oh,
I
Biomutant,
think I
dude!
remember that.
I have had Biomutant fucking pre-ordered since 2018.
Yeah, like it looks freaking awesome. Just give it to me.
Oh, that's the one with the little raccoon-looking thing that looks like Rocket.
Yeah, I mean, you can like edit your little creature to have like, I think, pretty sure any of its limbs can be robot or something like that, and you can edit the creature any way you want.
Yeah, because you can mutate it, so you can like dip it in, make whatever radioactive materials, and you can turn it into like a panda, like a mixture of
Yeah.
a panda and a fox.
What is this? Just
Freaking
like
awesome.
a more mature spore?
No. It's like you should look at the gameplay. It actually looks really cool. It's like a lot of
They actually did just release a trailer like a month ago or something.
yeah. Well, they always do. Like every year they release a new one. It's like it's still coming. It's like all right.
Well, I mean, actually, this was, I'm pretty sure, the first trailer they'd released in a long time. So,
Yeah, that might be true.
but it looks so good, and I've had it pre-ordered since 2018. Give it to me!
You're not at all salty.
I want it.
Why am I getting Breath of the Wild vibes?
Well, because it's going to be like that. Honestly, with how that they're probably going to integrate a lot of recent games into this, considering how long they've been taking to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it won't suffer the development hell curse.
What in the world?
Oh, there's like a lot of kung fu and
It's like
samurai
Kung
stuff.
Fu Panda.
It looks really good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
very cool. Well, so that's not really the discussion.
Yes, it is.
So
Everything is bio.
I got a question for you guys. Are video game delays a big deal?
Not really. I mean, do you want a broken game?
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that they announce games so early now that there's no mystery. One, like you're never really surprised about a game coming out, but two, they announce it so early that, like, how do they know what they're gonna have done in 3 years? You know?
Yeah, but that's on the company's fault. Like a company like, say, under Bethesda, terrible example I know because Bethesda is Bethesda, but it's Bethesda's fault. The people making the game don't want to announce it until they know it's ready, but Bethesda's like, no, we need money. Get the pre-orders out.
We want that Bitcoin.
Yeah, so it's because they want money, and so they want to announce it, and as soon as they announce it, the pre-orders are out.
You think this game will stay on? I'm sorry, Biomutant. Do you think Biomutant will actually stay on current gen consoles, or do you think it'll move to the next gen?
I think with how long they've been working on it, it'll be on current gen consoles. I mean, I'm sure it'll be on both.
Yeah, well,
But
yeah.
there's no way they would do that to people. Like we've been waiting for this game, like I said, since around 2017, 2018. So
Yeah,
they wouldn't do that.
kind of like what's that? Sea of Thieves knockoff. That's more apparently going to be more of a Fortnite.
Skull and Bones or something
Skull
like
and
that?
Bones. Yeah, that one's been delayed so many times.
Wait,
Mhm.
that isn't out yet?
No.
I saw something about that on E3 like 4 years ago.
Yep. They actually are rebuilding the game now. Apparently.
Actually, not gonna lie, I thought Sea of Thieves was that.
It's Ubisoft. It's like playing off of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag mechanics with the ships. So it could be really cool.
Be a game like that. Yeah, it looked cool originally, but now I don't know.
I mean, that's how disinterested I am in Skull and Crossbones, because I thought it was Sea of Thieves.
So here's the next question, though. Here's the next question. So if a game gets delayed, but then you get it eventually, and it gets a day one patch, how angry are you?
Oh, that pisses me off to no end. I like being able to just put the disc in and play it.
Okay, so I have, obviously, yes, installation, that sucks, but I've honestly never understood the anger towards day one patches because it's fixing stuff.
Because if you waited, like, okay, so here's the problem. You've got a disc that's being produced, manufactured, right? So they know it's broken when they manufacture the discs and then hope that the day one patch will clear up any problems, right? If you were going to release a game that was ready to go on day one, it wouldn't need a day one patch.
Well, also, if it's, just real quick, if it's, only like a couple gigabytes or something, or way smaller than that, I don't care. That's fine. I'll wait the 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. But when the patch is bigger than the whole game, which is like a pattern that we've been seeing, that's ridiculous. Like, why did I buy the disc then if I just have to download the whole game anyway from that day one patch?
Exactly.
I guess the way I've always looked at day one patches was, how they'll send review copies to people all the time. To me, the day one patch was, the reviewer got the one that has the bugs. So now the actual people who are paying for the game, they don't have the bugs because they'll have the day one patch. That's the way I've always looked at it anyway.
Yeah, but a lot of times the reviewers just get download codes. That doesn't mean they've already manufactured the physical discs. It just depends on when they actually release it.
You'll also notice that I have a sunny disposition for games, so I'm always positive. I try to always be positive.
I do. We do too. I just don't like day one patches personally. I think it depends on what it is. If it's fixing last minute things they just didn't know were there, that's not a big deal. But if you're reinventing the game with a day one patch, it just seems like you wanted to cash in, produce some discs, sell it.
Okay, yeah, that I guess I can understand. If the day one patch remakes the game basically, then yeah, that I can understand. But if it's just fixing bugs, then there's no point in being angry.
Oh, I'm not angry about that. Like if the day one patch is like Will said, if it's just a bug fix or like something's broken and they didn't catch it, because sometimes the dev consoles even just behave differently than the consumer consoles, and you just don't see bugs until it hits a consumer console, and they don't always test things on consumer consoles right away. Sometimes they wait till the disc is physically out so they can do it that way. And it's like, oh, crap. I didn't realize the dev console was, making up for this problem.
Didn't Fallout 4's day one patch, wasn't that like 3 times bigger than the base game itself?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or like the original
And also sometimes
release.
they'll patch in entire sections of the game. Like, why weren't those on the disc? Like, they'll put in the whole multiplayer.
Right.
You weren't done. You should have delayed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that monster looks like that monster from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
This game looks awesome. I want this game.
I want to see
it.
It
does. I am very excited for this game.
That thing. Yeah, that looks like that one thing from episode 2, Attack of the Clones in the arena.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Anyways, I think that my biggest issue with the day one patch is, like Will said, if you're patching in an entire section of the game, or if they patch something out of the game, like it was there on day one and they're like, wait, that wasn't, we want to sell that to you later.
Yeah. Oh, hasn't there been cases where a game was sold with something that wasn't supposed to be on there yet?
Yeah.
Well, I know with Destiny 1, with each successive update, or expansion, it will lock off content that players already had.
Nobody cares about Destiny. No, I'm kidding.
That's Activision, though. That's what they do. They're just, I don't know.
I thought that was. Oh, you're saying Activision does that? 'Cause I was about to say I thought Destiny was Bungie.
It was, but it was under Activision.
And then sorry to get off topic. Isn't Destiny completely broken now because it's not Activision anymore?
No, so it's a weird situation. Destiny 2 is Bungie's, and Destiny 1 is still Activision's. So
Well, I guess
The
that's what I
franchise
meant.
itself
Isn't
is
Destiny?
owned by Bungie now.
Oh, okay, I guess I meant is Destiny 2 broken? That's,
Bless you.
Thank you.
that's your
So
face.
here's my next question: would you rather have a halfway complete game that gets patched, or wait extra time for the game to be released?
Wait extra time.
Yeah, wait.
I understand
mean-
sometimes like smaller devs just can't do it. That's why Steam Early Access exists. You know, they have to release a game at some point so they can get it done.
Yeah.
So, given that you guys both agreed you'd rather have the game wait, do you think Steam Early Access is being hardcore abused as a system to
Yes.
just generate money for devs to finish a game?
Yes.
Yes. Honestly, what was it that Miyamoto said? A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for somebody to say it. I just didn't want to be the one to say it.
Oh, dude, fucking all hail Miyamoto, dude.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many people get angry at me for saying that?
Maybe Shane from FU Game Crew. He said Nintendo needs to stop listening to Miyamoto because he's stifling some of their creative processes by retaining some of the ideologies they've had since the beginning. And I don't know. There's a big discussion to have there, but that's not our
Miyamoto is
discussion.
God. Just gonna get him angry.
Yeah, Miyamoto and what's the other Sakurai. Both of those guys are awesome.
Dude, favorite developers.
With games as a service becoming a regular norm in the industry, should those games get delayed, or rely on future updates to fix them?
So
I think
I'm
games
torn
is.
on
Oh,
this.
sorry.
No, go on.
I just think games as a service should be fucking done. Like that it shouldn't exist.
Or like stick to like the big ones like WoW. I don't want every console
Oh
game
yeah,
to be
okay.
games as a
So
service.
yeah, if it's an MMO, fine. That's been a thing since the 90s, but don't fucking turn Halo into like pay like $2 a day so you can keep this gun. Stop it.
Oh, you want
what did Activision do with Call of Duty? Pay 99 cents for a laser on your gun.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The
Or
reticle.
pay like what was it, like $6 for blue or something like that?
Mhm.
I hate Activision.
I'm not gonna go so far to say I hate them, but I do hate their business practices quite significantly.
Oh, I just hate Activision.
Yeah, I can't even think the last time I bought an Activision game.
It was definitely
You
one
might-
of the ones with zombies in it.
This is a bit random. Do you mind pausing the video? I don't want too many spoilers for the game.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm trying to avoid as many spoilers as
I did not even realize that it rolled right into that.
No, you're good.
Let me see the.
So I'm torn on this games as a service thing because like a game like Sea of Thieves came out and it was pretty content bare at first, but because it's on Game Pass, it was kind of acceptable because most people didn't pay for it. And over time, it had like tons of free updates.
Did I pick the wrong video to put in the background here?
I don't know. The Act Man.
Sorry, go ahead. Well,
Anyway, now you made me lose my train of thought.
you were saying
Anyway,
that.
so I'm kind of torn on that because they were saying like a game like Sea of Thieves wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Game Pass and being able to roll out like essentially an alpha and update it.
See, but
But-
Game Pass is different than games as a service. I
Well,
would
no,
not
I
consider
also-
that.
Well, that
same
game is a
thing.
games as a service. It's
That
just
game
on
is.
Game Pass.
Yes.
Well, and I don't feel like it kind of what we're talking about. I don't feel like Sea of Thieves technically counts because that's an MMO.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it kind of fits the bill.
Yeah,
And
so like if it's an MMO game, games as a service for those, fine. But if it's going to be a single player game with multiplayer, no, games as a service, in my opinion, should not be on there.
No, I totally agree.
I will fucking fight anyone who disagrees with me.
See, I'm like torn because I think that Xbox Game Pass mixed with like Halo, if Halo were to be like any kind of service game, if all of the service packs were included with Xbox Game Pass as like a benefit to people that were already using that service, I don't tend to have an issue with that because you're already going to pay for that to get Xbox Live anyways. So it's just an extra incentive for people that are already paying for Game Pass. Whereas like if you're Fortnite and you have to pay $30 a month for the season pass or whatever Fortnite charges nowadays, that I have a problem with because it's one game, it's one service, it's got its own launcher on a PC. I just find that predatory.
Actually, sorry to do that. I want to rephrase what I said. If it's a single player game that has multiplayer, the games as a service should only affect the multiplayer.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like it when, and this is like a very unique case, I don't like the way they're re-releasing Final Fantasy VII. I don't think that should be episodic. Like, why would you take a complete game and make it episodic?
Money.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have wow, I fucking had a stroke or something. So I'm like mixed with this. Yeah, they should have like made it so that I think they should have done what they did with the original game, just have all of the discs in one box. But at the same time, it's like obviously they're trying to go so monumental with this that fucking the first episode, which is just escaping the first place, can't remember what it's called. You know, that took what, 30 hours? Like that's the length of a normal game.
I mean, that's fair.
So obviously they're trying to go monumental, and I can't, now that they have the engine down and all that stuff, obviously they'll be able to release games a little faster, but that means other parts will be able to be a lot bigger because obviously they're going to go open world with it. If they don't, they're stupid for it.
Yeah. Do you guys have any last thoughts on, I'm sorry, did you have something else you were saying?
Oh, well, I was just, but also, yes, money.
Yes.
Well, I mean, with how bad, sorry, but with how bad Square Enix has done lately, of course they need money.
Fair. I thought the Tomb Raider games were really good. I actually really enjoyed those. I even bought the DLC because I felt like that DLC actually added some layers to the game. Even I wouldn't say it was worth the money I spent on it necessarily, but for how good I thought Tomb Raider was, I was willing to pay the extra couple bucks for.
I didn't buy the DLC, but I did buy the games.
I really enjoyed them.
I forgot Tomb Raider was made by Square Enix, the new ones.
I thought they were really good. And they looked really good too. Square Enix does some beautiful work on graphics.
Oh, dude, I will always defend the graphics of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. Like, they're good.
Yeah, they do a really great job.
But I can't forgive what they did with Final Fantasy after 10. Honestly, that's
a totally different discussion.
Yeah.
Tune in next week.
IndieTimmie goes on a rant about why he doesn't like Final Fantasy after 10.
Oh my god. I could go on an hour-long video rant of why I think Squaresoft is better than Enix. Like,
Fair.
This will be the only thing I say. I fucking hate that in the Final Fantasy X HD version, I hate that they slapped their dirty fucking names over Squaresoft, and it says Square Enix now. I hate this was Squaresoft's game. Sorry.
I didn't like how they went from turn-based to like that more real-time combat system. That's where I lost my will to play Final Fantasy.
Yeah, from turn-based to hallway simulator.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, this is the perfect segment of the Act Man to close out the show.
I was about to say, why the hell was I looking at fucking
As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Pooh Bear.
Mindy. Oh my god.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.